The Fort Lauderdale Eldercare channel is brought to you by Sidney Shugani and the great folks with Right at Home of Broward County. Today's guest is Paul Solomon with PHS Advisors, passionately helping seniors.
Welcome to the Fort Lauderdale Eldercare channel. My name is Sidney Shugani. I'm your host today. Today we have Paul Solomon from PHS Advisors. Welcome, Paul.
Good morning. Thank you, Sidney, for having me.
Our pleasure. I look forward to our discussion today to get a better understanding on how our audience can avail of the services of a long-term care financial planner.
Okay.
How long has your firm been in business, Paul?
Well, I've been helping families in South Florida since 1988, and over the last 4 or 5 years, I've been getting more involved in long-term care planning for families. I just left an elder law attorney that I was working with for the last 2 years to open up my own firm as of October 1st, 2016, to help families on my own planning for their long-term care needs.
Could you please define for our audience your market area served?
I serve South Florida in general. Most of my clients are in Broward and Palm Beach County. But I'm also servicing the families that are involved, which are all over the country. So they're calling me, conference calling in, so that we can help their family members here.
So all over the country, that's great.
Yeah, it's interesting, the different time zones that I have to worry about as I'm talking to the family members.
Gotcha. Could you tell us about your typical client?
My typical client is 70 to 75 with health issues. With either having a family member or having a home care service like yours. Family may be moving somebody into an assisted living or somebody living in a nursing home, and they're trying to figure out how to pay for the long-term care costs that they're incurring daily.
My clients are seniors too, Paul. How can you help my clients?
Well, when it comes to home care agencies, people don't realize how quickly the cost could add up. Whether it's a couple hours a day, 24/7 a day, 7 days a week, and they're usually scrambling trying to figure out, how am I going to pay for this? So between their assets that they might have, their income and or pensions they might have, I'm helping families understand that there are government benefits, veterans benefits for the veteran and surviving spouse, also Medicaid benefits that can be used at home, plus using their long-term care insurance, obviously, life insurance policies they might have, and also their real estate that they're living in, that every family wants to keep their loved one at home. There's reverse mortgages and there's other things that we can do with their real estate to find the money to help pay for these costs.
So there are a lot of solutions out there. I just want to highlight that. You mentioned so many that people should know about on how to pay for care as we age. That's great. Paul, without using actual names, can you think of a particular case and what your client had gone through and how you were able to help your client or their family?
Well, a great example would be my own family. How I got involved with getting involved in long-term care financial planning is a phone call I got from my own mom in 2008, 2009, when the stock market was doing its thing back then. She felt that they were going to run out of money. And not really knowing their financial situation, which I see a lot of families having that. The adult child has no idea what mom or dad has. I spent a whole day with them and understanding that they do have assets, but the way things were going, they might run out of money. So that's kind of how I had to figure out how to get someone or some entity to pay for long-term care for them. First reached out to the VA to see what I can find out there. And it kind of snowballed where it became my business to really understanding VA and Medicaid benefits besides the long-term care insurance that my mom had, my dad didn't have. And it's ongoing. So it's always an ongoing situation with the families. It's not just, all right, let me get the benefits or let me try and figure out how to get the benefits, but then I stay with the family just so that they understand when things change, and it's usually based on health. So we try and figure out what's the best avenue at first. Home care, best avenue. Everybody wants to stay home, but then maybe needs to change to assisted living, or unfortunately move someone into a nursing home. And how are they going to pay those huge costs, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 a month, Well, if we do the right planning, we can get veterans benefits or Medicaid to help pay for these costs that are involved.
That's really interesting. Everybody does want to stay at home.
Mhm.
And isn't that the first choice? That's so true.
Yeah, it really is.
Paul, is there anything you can tell our audience that your firm does differently compared to others?
Well, I started my firm in October, but I've been doing this again for a long time. My background is I'm a real estate agent broker, and I'm also a licensed insurance agent, which is a 215 license, which is life, health, and long-term care. And with having those licenses and then the experience I have with VA, Medicaid, helping understand the financial planning of it, also understanding what's needed to be done to do the applications correctly, and then working with an elder law attorney for the last 2 years, I think my firm has a unique experience that a lot of other companies don't have. Putting everything together and working with the real estate, the insurances, the government benefits, and working with the families, I feel like I am unique in South Florida. I don't know of anybody else that can put everything together like I feel I can. And if I can't do it, I reach out to professionals that I trust, that I refer out and bring into my group to help that family, because I'm going to need an elder law attorney. I'm not an attorney to help with that. If it's a senior placement where they need to find an assisted living, I'll bring a professional in to help the family understand that. If it's a nursing home that they're looking for, I know nursing homes that I know would cater to certain people, so I'll try and direct them to those nursing homes. So there's nothing that I really can touch within the senior world that either I can help them myself or have a good referral for them of where they need to go.
I should be asking what don't you do? Well, Paul, I have one last question for you. Is there anything else that you would like to say, to share with our audience? Anything at all that you would like for them to know?
Well, I know that I fall into the same category as a lot of other families where I'll go online and try and find the answers. It seems the simplest place to go. Unfortunately, all the answers aren't there. All the tricks to the trade aren't there. Understanding a little deeper on how we can get these benefits isn't there. So that's kind of what I offer. I want to be that resource. I offer free consultations for families, whether it's on the phone. If they're here locally, I'll meet with them directly, and then go from there to see exactly what their needs and wants are. And again, a lot of family members are around the country, so conference calling with those family members is something that I do every day. And again, just the point of trying to get everybody to understand that there's help out there. You just have to find the right person that can help with all the questions, and not try and sell somebody something, but trying to educate them, because the education part is the hardest thing.
The education part is invaluable. It's so important.
It's hard, it really is.
Well, could you share with our audience how you can be reached?
Sure. My phone number is area code 954-540-6609. That's my direct line. I don't have an assistant. They're calling me directly. Please leave me a message and I'll get back to you within a couple hours. My website, which you can see me and also read a little bit more about me, is www.phsadvisors.com. Again, phsadvisors.com.
Great. This is Sidney Chigani, your host on the Fort Lauderdale Eldercare channel. And we're so glad to have Paul Solomon from PHS Advisors, a long-term care financial advisor, with us today. Thank you and see you next time.
Thank you.